and good morning to you, ma'am. In this video, me and my co-demonstrators we're going to tackle about laws and policies for women in the Philippines. But before that, let me introduce myself first. I am Shalini Bahonswa.
I am Crystal T. Apaw.
I am Rinalyn B. Ilmidulan.
I'm Nisa May M. Tabu-Tabu and we are from BSED English 2 Group 1.
Before we're going to start, I'll be advising you to hold your pen, paper, and be sure to jot down important titles, names, and years that might behind the letter on. So laws and policies for women in the Philippines. The central role of women in the society has ensured stability, progress, and long-term development of nation. Filipino women have been active participants in almost every aspect positive social change in the Philippines. The law protects the right of women. It is a testament to our foremothers' determination to fight the gender equality. The first laws and policy for women in the Philippines, Republic Act 6725 in April 27, 1989. Prohibition and discrimination against women. Prohibits discrimination with respect to terms and conditions of employment solely in the basis of sex. An act strengthening the prohibition and discrimination against women with respect to terms and conditions of employment. Amending for the purpose Article 135 of the Labor Code as amended. Under this law, any employer favoring a male employee over a female employee in terms of promotion, training, opportunities, and other benefits solely on account of sex is considered discrimination. Your sex or your gender shouldn't be the basis of your salary. Does not mean just because you're a woman that your salary will be lower or that you will get fewer benefits than your male co-worker. Next, Republic Act 6949 in April 10, 1990. An act to declare March 8th of every year as a working special holiday to be known as National Women's Day. It directs all heads of government agencies and employers in the private sector to encourage and afford efficient time and opportunities for their employees to engage and participate in any activity to celebrate National Women's Day. Next, Republic Act 6955 in June 13, 1990, an act to declare unlawful the practice of matching for marriage to foreign nationals on a mail order basis and for other similar practices, including the advertisement, publication, printing or distribution of brochures, filers, and other propaganda materials in furtherance and providing penalty. Ban marriage matching for a fee as well as exportation of domestic workers to certain countries which cannot ensure the protection of their rights. So the next laws and policies for women in the Philippines will be tackled by my co-demonstrators, Crystal and Apaw.
Okay, let's continue. Republic Act 7192, December 11, 1991. An act promoting the integration of women as full and equal partners of men in development and also known as Women in Development and Nation Building. A substantial portion of official development assistance funds received from foreign governments and multilateral agencies and organizations shall be set aside and utilized by the agencies concerned to support programs and activities for women. Also, in this act, all government departments shall ensure that women benefit equally and participate directly in the development programs and projects of said department, especially those funded under official foreign development assistance to ensure the full participation and involvement of women in the development process, and the government departments and agencies shall review and revise all the regulations, circulars, agencies, and procedures to remove gender bias therein. and Republic Act 7322 March 30, 1992, an act increasing maternity benefits in favor of women workers in the private sector, amending for the purpose section 14A of Republic Act number 1161. A covered female employee was paid at least 3 monthly maternity contributions in the 12-month period preceding the semester of her childbirth, abortion, or miscarriage, and who is currently employed shall be paid a daily maternity benefit equivalent to 100% of her present basic salary. Allowances and other benefits or the cash equivalents of such benefits for 60 days subject to the following conditions. The employee shall be notified her employer of her pregnancy and the probable date of her childbirth, which notice shall be transmitted to SSS in accordance with the rules and regulations it may provide. Republic Act 7600, June 17, 1992, an act requiring all government and private health institutions with obstetrical services to adopt rooming-in and breastfeeding practices. This act is also known as Rooming-in and Breastfeeding Act. The state adopts rooming-in as a national policy or encourage, protect, and support the practice of breastfeeding. It shall create an environment where basic physical, educational, and psychological needs for mothers and infants are fulfilled through the practice of rooming-in and breastfeeding. Breastfeeding has distinct advantages which benefit the infant and the mother, including the hospital and the country that adopt its practice. It is the first preventive health measure that can be given to the child of birth. It shall create an environment where basic physical, emotional, and psychological needs of mothers and infants are fulfilled through the practice of rooming-in and breastfeeding. Breastfeeding has distinct advantages which benefit the infant and the mother, including the hospital and the country that adopts its practice. It is the first preventive health measure that can be given to the child at birth. It also enhances mother-infant relationship. Furthermore, the practice of breastfeeding could save the country valuable foreign exchange may otherwise be used for milk importation. So the next laws and policies will be tackled by my co-demonstrators, Ms. Rinalyn Elmidulan.
Now, let's proceed to another law, which is the Republic Act 7688. So this act, giving representation to women in Social Security Commission, amending for the purpose Section 3 of Republic Act 1161 as amended. So the purpose of this act is to ensure that women have a voice and representation in the decision-making processes of the Social Security Commission. So this law recognizes and supports national sports associations in the Philippines, declaring them as agencies of the government. It aims to promote and develop sports in the country by providing assistance and support to national sports associations in their program and activities. So for example of the Republic Act 7688 is that they provide financial assistance and support to national sports associations in the Philippines and helping them to develop and promote various sports programs and activities. Next law, which is the RA 7822, is an act providing assistance to women engaging in micro and cottage business enterprises and for other purposes. So this law aims to support and empower women who are involved in micro and cottage business enterprises by providing them with financial assistance, training programs, and other forms of support. So the goal of this law is to promote women's economic empowerment, micro and cottage industries in the Philippines. So here are the kind of assistance that the RA 7822 to provide to women who are engaged in micro and cottage business enterprises. So the first one is the financial assistance. So this law establishes a Women's Microenterprise Development Fund so which provides financial resources to support women in their micro and cottage business enterprises. So this fund can be used for capitalization, working capital, and other financial needs. So the next one is the training and skills development. So the RA 7822 mandates the provision of training programs and skills development initiatives specifically tailored for women engaged in micro and cottage business enterprises. So these programs aim to enhance their entrepreneurial skills, management capabilities, and technical expertise. So the third one is the market access and networking. So the law promotes market access for women entrepreneurs by facilitating their participation in trade fairs, exhibits, and marketing events. It is also encourage establishment of networks and linkages with other businesses and support organizations to expand their market reach. So the next one is the business development services. So the RE 7822 supports these business development services to provision of business development services such as consultancy, advisory, and mentoring services to assist women in improving their business operations, product development, and market strategies. So the next and last one is the technology and information. So the law promotes the use of technology and information systems to enhance the productivity and competitiveness of women-led micro and cottage business enterprises. This kind of assistance of the RA 7822 is the provisions aim to empower women entrepreneurs, enhance their business capabilities, and create an enabling environment for the sustainable growth and development. And that's all my part, and I will give the floor to my co-demonstrator, which is Ms. Misa May Tabo-Tabo.
The Republic Act Number 1853, also known as the Anti-Rape Law of 1997. It is an act that expanded the definition of crime of rape classified as it is a crime against person and amended the reverse penal code. The major changes that this act introduced are: this can be committed by any person, not just by a man, and can involve a form of sexual assault, not just carnal knowledge of woman. Rape can be committed by a spouse or a common law partner of the victim, and material rape is no longer a group or legal separation for annulment. Rape is punishable by reclusion perpetua or life imprisonment and can be increased to death penalty if there are aggravation or qualifying circumstances, such as when the victim is a minor, when the offender is a relative, or when the victim becomes incensed or rape victims are entitled to free legal assistance, protection from intimidating or harassment, and privacy during the investigation and trial. Rape cases subject to an automatic review by the Department of Justice and Supreme Court, enacted to protect the dignity and human rights of rape victims, to provide them with justice and support, and to deter the commission of rape and other form of sexual violence. This Republic Act Number 8369, also known as the Family Court Act 1997, is law that established family court in Philippines, granting them exclusive original jurisdiction over child and family cases. The law aims to protect the rights and welfare of the children and families, and to promote a speedy and efficient administration of justice. Some of the cases that fall under the jurisdiction of the family courts are annulment of marriage, legal separation, adoption, guardianship, child abuse and neglect, domestic violence, support and custody of children, suspension of parental authority, psychological. This law also provide for appointment of judges, social workers, psychologists, and other personnel for the family courts, as well as the creation of a special funds for their operation and maintenance. The law also mandates the establishment of a family courts division in the Supreme Court, which shall exercise administrative supervision over all family court. Republic Act 9262 is a law that defines violence against women and their children, provides
protective measure for victims, prescribe penalties for perpetrators, and aims to promote gender equality and women's empowerment in the Philippines. It was signed on March 8, 2004, coinciding with the International Women's Day 12. The law covers any act or series or act that result in or are likely to result in physical, sexual, psychological, or economic harm, or suffering to women and their children, whether committed with or outside the family. The law also recognized the need to protect the family and its members from violence and threats to their personal safety and security in accordance with Constitution and international human rights. Instrument that Philippines is party to the law provides for various forms of relief and assistance for victims such as protection order, legal aid, medical and psychological service, shelter, livelihood, and education. The law also imposes penalties ranging from 6 months or 12 years of imprisonment. The law also imposes penalties depending on the gravity of the offenses. The law is considered a milestone in the history of the Philippines struggle for gender equality and others' empowerment, addresses the perceived and systematic problem of violence against women and their children in the country.